Oh my God, it's Shelly life. They're exposed, look at everything. She's playing, she's doing the work. Loves her, Shelly life. She unapologetic, sometimes misunderstood. She a boss, making boss moves, pushing, pressing past the pain. Shelly life, oh my God, it's Shelly life. Oh, it's Shelly life. She's talking about it, Shelly life. She's winning, Shelly life. Come on, fellas and ladies, let's pop our shit. It's Shelly life, oh, it's Shelly life.
Singing is not just about the notes. It's about our freedom. It's about the struggles and the hardship we go through.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
You see, out here in the world, there's a whole lot of do's and don'ts. But in my world, I can do any and everything I want to do.
Looks like somebody got their eyes on you.
Baby,
Girl, give the man a chance.
this is a really nice place. Do you come here often?
Well, I come here a few times a week, being that it is my place and all.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I did not know this was your spot.
Life is about taking chances and risks. And you're one that I would take a chance on.
Wow, I really appreciate that. And I did have an amazing time tonight.
Listen, you're my best friend, and I love you, girl. But listen, Domino, that nigga, he is not for you.
I just want to stay here and enjoy myself.
I don't give a fuck what you want to do.
Please just leave his ass before somebody calls me telling me he's killed you.
I'm gonna tell you one more motherfucking time. I'm tired of your shit.
I saw how he treats you, girl. You don't have to put up with somebody putting their hands on you constantly.
Rashida, just leave it alone. You're fucking crazy. You're crazy.
Cool, bitch! Cool! That's what I'm saying. Like that. I like that, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Motherfucker, shit. Fuck you! Fuck you! If you don't die today, shut the fuck up!
Get your motherfucking hands off her nigga right now!
Oh, yeah?
It's just a misunderstanding.
Nothing can take away your pain. Nothing can fade your past, babe. Can you just ride along with me? Tell me, babe, tell me.
Hey, babe, what's up? Happy Thursday. Well, I had to sling it in there, y'all. I had to bring it in my way. Now I got to do this. I got to do this and make it do what it do, honey, all day, every day. Hey, Melvin, how you doing? How you doing, Atlanta and all over the world? And everybody that rocks with Shelly, your girl, y'all. I'm in the building. I'm feeling kind of, woo. I had to change it up a little bit, y'all. Y'all know how I do. I got to put my little swag to it. I got to put my little pop to it, right? Right? Yeah, do a little different sometimes. When the people say you can't do what you do it. That's what you do. And I got my little wine, y'all. We finna have a topic. So, woo, baby. And I got the things to show you. Hey, topic today, y'all. Size, skill, or connection. What really keeps you coming back? What keeps you coming back? That would be the question, right? What makes you want to go back the next day and say, or the next the next couple of minutes. For some people, they'd be like, oh yeah, maybe he tore it out the frame, and I was, yes. What makes you want to go back for the round two though? Is it size? Is it the skill of the person? Is it the skill of the person? That would be. I think for me personally, it's gonna have to be the skill. Skill's gonna win all the time. I don't really get into the size so much. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not because I think that size don't matter. I think that it's chemistry. It's something other than just the size of a man. I don't know. Men have a test. I don't know what it has to do with a female. Like, does her vagina have to be fat? Does it have to be medium? Could it be too small? Do you want it to be, where you can go in there and go deep? Or, I guess it's all different for everybody. For each his own. Some men might like to go all the way to your gut, might be long enough to do that. And then some men, just have enough to satisfy you. I call them tickle fingers. I think some men have tickle fingers, and the tickle fingers sometimes feel really good. That's what I'm trying to tell you though. And then that's when it comes to, when you sit back and you be like, oh, okay, well, this feels kind of good. It feels great. It might be tickling you. Tickling you can make you bust a nut though. You see what I'm saying? Like you can bust a nut on a tickle. You can. Trust me, I'm telling you, you can. I used to date him years ago, and his penis was very small. It was very small. But the little man knew how to wiggle it. He knew what to do. Like every time it went inside, it felt like it was a fish in there. Like it felt like I was throwing a fishing rod and sucking me back in. I ain't even gonna hold you, boy. And I was banging on that man's door like, "Are you coming over? When you coming?" I loved his little tickle finger, and it was a tickle finger. I'm talking about it was little. It was very small. I'm not exaggerating. It was some small kind of type shit. But it was some good type. It's like, it was good. I was like, okay, he know what he's doing with his little tickle. He's tickling, and he's tickling well. I can do a little, little nudge, a little knock, who's there kind of thing. Knock. Go down there, you dabble a little bit, and you knock on it. That's all you need. But that's about to bust my nut already. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. But does it? What is it? What does it mean to guys though? You know what I mean? Like, hey Kevin, hey John, what does it mean to guys? How do you feel about, like, would you be mad if a woman said people small? Like, would make somebody mad? I'm just curious. I don't know. Did you say tickle me, Elmo? Elmo, not tickle me, Elmo, baby. We ain't doing this one. Kevin said, tickle me, Elmo, and that's what it felt like. But what is it for men? Like, is it insulting? Like, is it insulting for a woman to tell you that your size isn't big? But what if she tells you you're small, but she compliments you at the same time? Like, what if she really say, like, it's little, but it's good. Would that make you feel better, or does it still make you feel bad? Like, I'm really asking because I really don't know. I told my friend that his penis was little. And I do mean this was years ago, y'all. And I told him, I said, it's real small, but it's nice. I don't, he was insulted because I said it was nice. I thought nice was a good word back then. I was like, well, it's nice. It's pleasant. It's cool. It's giving me the vibe. But, he didn't like nice. He said the word was insulting. And I was like, really? Okay. Should I say, it'd be saying it was small. I would think that nice is a good word. It's nice. It's cute. It's a cute one. Because I've seen some ugly ones in my time, some really ones that you want people to put away and just like, don't take that out, never know day. But what keeps you really coming back? Like, what makes you say, I want to do this again. I want to do it one more time to see, was it what I was feeling from the beginning? Was it that what I was feeling? Was it, did we have a connection? Was the vibe cool? Or was it just in my mental head? So you lovely people that are watching, I decided to take out my toys, right? and show you sizes that I think are normal sizes for a man. Now, some of you men like to say, that everything is just down there in his heaven. And then you have the men are realistic. They're realistic in their minds. They don't sit around here thinking about how big their penis is. So I said, if I was looking at realistic sizes, these are not all penises though. This is just size. I'm just using it for the measurement of size and what I think would matter to a woman, being that I'm one. I can't speak for you lovely men, but what would matter to a woman? Some women like having, gigantor, elephants ran up in them. Kevin said, honestly speaking, I've never heard that before. I guess it could bother a person. Yeah, I think certain things bother people, Kevin. I mean, I think when you get, like for me, like I said, I don't really get into all that. I don't really get into the size of things. I think you can have a great size and it could be, the worst in the world. Roger says, I'm 6 inches and running on a good. Roger, I'm glad that you took the time to measure your penis. Like, I mean, do people do that for real? Do they get in the bathroom and be like, well, and they say go by the size of a man's hand anyway. I said like the width is this, and then the length is this, and then men will beg to differ. And you see a man with a little bitty hand, and you be like, okay, his stingling is really small. Like, what I'm saying? Like, we look at this kind of stuff. You don't have a way of measuring a lady's vagina, though. You gotta look at some other stuff. So that's not going to be what it's going to be. But when this is a question, though, so say you got size, you got skill, and no connection. Does it fade if those things aren't there? Like, does it make does the passion go away if you have these two things, but you don't have the passion in the middle? You know what I mean? Like Roger says, too deep, in too deep, meaning you got to elaborate. I was always under the impression that a man likes to go to the pearly gates in there. There's a wall. In a woman's vagina, there's this wall that you're going to come to. Now, if your dick is long enough, you're going to hit it. You're going to know you're hitting it because she's probably going to squirm upward. She's going to be like, whoa, wait a minute. It's going to hit. That's, you hear people like breaking the wall down, they hit it so hard to the point where it's uncomfortable, So it could be, you've hit it and you got to that, your head got so it was so far in there that it hit something, and a lot of times it's an uncomfortable hit. That's the problem. It's not the hit of joy. It's the hit of, oh my God, what just happened here? So in too deep for a man, meaning skilled. So what if a woman is skilled and deep? You know what I mean? Like, what if she's a skilled woman? Like she got her skills going on. She knows how to wiggle and worm. What about that? What about if she's, I always say boards. What if she's not a board? She knows how to move, her little elasticity might have given out a little bit, but she still knows how to work with the walls she's got. Does that matter? Does that matter? Hey, Juan said, been there, done that. Juan, been there, done what? Been there, done that where, gotta give more, when y'all say these comments and I'm reading them, I gotta know what y'all talking about because I don't be knowing. So what makes the connection though? If you take away the size and the skill, what then do you have? If the size and the skill is going, you just all over you. Because you ever been in the bed with somebody and it just ain't working? Like no matter how you flip, no matter how you get with them, it just don't go. It just don't work. It just be like, You just be like, no. It's like almost like fighting. You can't do it. It just don't work, right? What about that? What about when what about that? Like, when it doesn't work at all, but you like the person a whole lot. It's just sexually you're not connected. Can you stay with somebody like that? Can you overlook side skill and have a connection and still want to go back for more? Maybe, maybe not. She got that good scooter scat. This word in you and me. You got each other. Yeah, I would say that's what I say. That's always my thing. I always think when you are in any kind of anything kind of relationship, I don't care if you're dysfunctional, you have to have something that has to stand out when all else fails, right? So say the penis don't work no more, or the vagina don't work. We're gonna say both. Let's say either or don't work, right? And all you have is the bond of each other. It has to speak volumes to some point, because you have sometimes when when a woman gets sick or a man gets sick, the wife goes out or the man steps out the marriage, but they're needing this. How do you look at it, and what do you say when you say, "Oh, well, we still have each other, and we're still working with each other. I might not be able to give you that." Do you wait and be for your person, or do you make the person feel bad? That's when that connection actually matters. Juan said he hit her wall. Yes, the wall for a woman is real. I mean, if a man can get that far, he's probably packing really long, because that's a long way up there. I ain't even gonna lie. That's way, way, way in the back. If you have a vagina that's the average size of a woman, I don't know about some women don't want to go way up into nowhere, because once the wall is knocked down, then you just flying up there. No matter how much you do, you just flying in there, right? But if you have the normal average size of a woman's give, you think we can push out a baby, so we can push out anything, right? The give, the size, probably from your vagina to where that wall goes, it's probably about that much of a give. If you can get this much in and get it all the way through this to this, yeah, you got a lot going on. Intimacy is where it's at. Sex is great, but it's the buildup. At my stage in life, it's way more than just the act of sex. It's the buildup. The buildup, meaning the buildup to the sex. Are we talking about? See, if you're saying what I'm thinking you're saying, then I agree with you. I think it's the buildup. I think it's the anticipation. I think it's the butterflies you get. I think it's all these things that you think of, like all these things that you think of in your mind, before the actual act happens. I think the buildup will get you where you need to go. Once you get past like the nerves and all that stuff, I think all the other stuff is out the building. My tongue is registered with Homeland Security. Roger, I'm done. I'm done putting you on display for today, period. But then, do you need a woman or a man that has to, I just say, for instance, it was a woman, that's and the men get tired of being bashed, and men be like, oh my God, they're just bashing the men all the time. So we're not bashing the men today. We're definitely not. But would you need for a woman, if a woman never said to you that it was good or the connection was good? Like, what if a woman just was in the bed with you and she never said, oh, it's really good? Like, oh, we just did a workout, or it was great. Would that make you feel some type of way after? Like, would it make you feel bad? Like, would it make you feel like, oh my God, she didn't say nothing. I don't know if she liked it or not. I don't know if it's bad. I just don't know. It make a person feel, some type of way. If no one says anything, how do you know? I guess you would know the connection, because you would know by the person wanting you to come back, right? You would just know that. Like, for a woman to pick up the phone and be like, hey, come through, yeah, that's a telltale off for a woman. If a woman pick up the phone and be like, hey, or it's in a text message, I don't care how you send it, if they're saying, hey, I want you to back, I want you to come back through, you already know it's good if she's calling you back for it, because she wants it, right? And at that point, nothing matters. Size, skill, it's just, it was good. Some people have great chemistry together. Some people's sex is off the roof together. I've been with some men in my life that I think, the sex was phenomenal. Just make you just want to jump out your own goddamn skin. But then, then you have the ones that are not so great, and you just kind of teach them a little bit. You just say, hey, let me show you some things. Let me just show you what I like. Because I think with Kevin's comment, That's where the buildup also can come from. Like if you have a person that you really dig in, and they might not be so great at sex, but I think with anything you can be taught. I honestly believe anything in life someone can show you how to do. Anything. I taught a man how to eat coochie. It's the easiest thing in the world. Hey, don't, a little more to the left. Don't stay too much in the center. Don't go too far down the bottom. You got to just talk them through it sometimes. Sometimes they might not really know. Everybody ain't the best coochiers. It's like every woman ain't good at sex. I mean, I'm just gonna say the word. I was gonna say another one, but I'm gonna say that. He said, "I'm so ready for the movie to come out. I'm so excited." Thank you, Destiny. You know what? We so excited, honey. What you talking about, baby? I hope you got your tickets to this premiere. People was buying them last night, y'all. This premiere is going to be epic. I'm just off the subject because she jumped and said that. Thank you so much, Destiny. We really appreciate it. We are dying for it to come out too. We are ready for October 4th. Trust me, baby. We are. You said, "Can you teach me tonight?" Roger, absolutely not. I don't know what to do with Roger, y'all, as y'all can see. But I think it is that that ultimate attraction starts first. Everything is physical. You got to see first, and then you see somebody and you start scoping them out. You be like, yeah, he's kind of on the eye, just like y'all see women, and y'all be like, oh, she's so cute, and she look like she got some. And what make a person look like they got good coochie? I hear that so much. You look like you got good coochie. How do you know? Like, I'm gonna look at them and say, you did. Like, that's so you look like it feel good. Like, I ain't seen it. I don't know. I'm just going by swag and whatever else you got going on. Sometimes the swag can get you. The swag can get you to be like, yeah, that nigga got mad swag. It ain't nothing. Ain't nothing like a nigga that got swag and smell good, honey. That's enough to make a woman just throw her drawers in the air. Anyway, here you go. You want them, because we walk in and we see people and we be like, oh yeah. And we try to look at people's hands. We be looking at the men's hands and seeing if it's big or small, and are their fingers little? We look at all that. I be like, okay, got some nice hands. His hands is nice. Spot them out. Some people look at women, some women have camel toes. Some women's vaginas don't, legs be spread apart. It's just free down there breathing. It's all kinds of stuff that skills and size and skills will come into, I think, fall in the bracket of that I just said. I don't think a connection is based on size. I don't think it at all. I think it's based on somewhat skill, and somewhat of the connection. Now we're going to go into these sizes. So I pulled out this. I think the average man's penis is probably this size to me. Maybe a little wider, maybe not so little, but maybe this size, right? This is about 4 inches. A man not hard is just small. Like, don't even play, y'all, because y'all be trying to act like y'all dicks be all the way down your legs. This is the average size of the average man, unhard. Okay? You give him a little growth spurt. Let's say he gets hard. Now, this is just him when he's not hard, y'all. This is the way my makeup is. Anyway, this is the size, right? Now, you have the ones that are thin with a little hooks at the end. They got the hook and it kind of grab in there a little bit. Got the hooks. And then this is probably about 7-8 inches thin, right? That's the ones with the hook. And these are the ones that probably can get to the walls. Like, these are probably the ones that can get all the way to the wall. Unless you're just a small timer and you have this size. And then, I just talked about that doorknob, and you know how to push the doorknob. How when the door is stuck, you can kind of push it up a little bit. Some people know how to get it in there. They get it all the way in there. It can just wiggle up there. It's like the Tickle Me Elmo. Then you have the guys that are this size. This is about close to 8 inches again. We're going to disregard all these little things. But then you have the ones that have tickle fingers. I call this the tickle finger. This is the part. This is the tickle finger that some men carry for real. And then you have the men that have this size penis. Like, that's the size. It is hard. It's not any bigger. And what do they tend to do? They eat good coochie. because they know or this isn't going to do unless you know how to work the tip. Like you could be charming. It can be very charming if you know how to work it. You just imagine something this little going really fast in you, right? Just moving like a fish. It's almost feels like a fish, just wiggling really fast. And it's just in you doing that, right? And it's going at 100 in there. Okay. That might be a good feeling. I promise you. My friend years ago, he probably was about that much more from this. And he didn't talk about it. He didn't talk about it at all. He never talked about sex. But, it came up on that day. He's like, that's what we're doing. You get that conversation. What are we doing? We're going to do this. Okay, we're going to do that. But I understand. So then you have, this one. This one could have the width. You see the width? You have that thickness on it. You might want a little thickness. So you got the little thickness on it. This can be good. This right here, this little situation could be fantastic. Let's minus out this part, right? Let's just take this and then you just have the front, that part going in, the head of it. Pop, you're open, just like that. Size shouldn't matter. It should not matter. I don't think it plays a part. I don't think it plays a part at all. I think it's just how you move, how you work it, how you know how to work it. And if you work it well, that's what's going to keep somebody coming back for more. It's going to be, I think all things get better in time. It's like if you have somebody that's sexually driven, your chemistry both is sexually driven, then that is a quick fix, right? Get in, get out, honey. You're doing your thing and it's feeling fantastic. Sometimes the stuff feels really good. I'm not lying. But that's just my spill. Hey, Jay. I don't matter how size. It's what you. I mean, yeah, I think the same thing, Roger. I think the same thing. Roger said, I do both. You do both what, Roger? You just can't throw that out in the universe. I don't know what you're talking about. I think that it's chemistry. I think you can scratch the size, the scale. The connection has to be there. It has to be a connection to keep anybody doing anything. And I think sex appeal and all that stuff goes hand in glove with all the stuff you think in your head prior to, like what Kevin said in the beginning, the connection of something being good, or the curiosity of something, because curiosity killed the cat, right? Curiosity kills people all day, because you can sit down and you can really think about how good something is going to be before it even happens. In your mind, replayed it over and over and over again, and then by the time you get to where you're going, I think kiss matters. I think touch matters. I think, all this stuff that leads up to this build up Kevin talking about, build up of it that makes you go wonderful. The next time is going to be great, fantastic, and wonderful. And the only thing it can get is better. It can only get better every time you're doing it. That's what I think, anyway. That's just my stuff. So it's always raining over here, so my connection is always terrible. Let's see. It says, is it possible for a connection to grow stronger than lust? Is it possible for a connection to grow stronger than lust? Here we come back to what we think of prior to, the buildup we have before the actual act takes place. It always, to me, starts with lusting for somebody. You can scroll on Facebook and see 100 women and just go, keep scrolling. And then boom, all of a sudden you get to this one fine with a fat ass. And then you start fiending over that one. So then the inbox start going off. All the things you want to do, right? All the things you want to do to this person, all the things you want to feel, all the way you want them to feel about you and all stuff. And you go pick 1, 2, 2, right? Lusting now. We're now in the lust zone. Women do it too. We scroll, we look, we see, we look at our timeline, we see who's on it. We go to people's profiles, just like men do. We go and we look and we go, okay, he's cute. Let's scroll. Let's go into his picture file. Let's see if he got good pictures. Let's see if he takes good pictures. Let's see how he looks in clothes. Let's see how his demeanor is. How he looks when he's, when he's not in clothes. We do all that stuff. Same way. And it starts with that big attraction that we're having now. Now we're having this attraction, right? And sometimes, in some senses, the man probably done reached out to you already, and you already getting ready to say, it was baby. I was getting ready to hit you out. I was getting ready to talk about this. So here's lusting, right? Now we have lust. Now the Bible says don't lust. It does. It says you should lust for anything. So we all sinners today, y'all, because all of us lust. We're not going to act like anybody on here doesn't lust. We lust. We sin because of the lust, like we do. Really, we think how great it's going to be, how amazing it's going to be when it touches or when it hits ground or whatever else have you. So we scroll and we're lusting as we're scrolling. Now, what do people look for? What do people look for when they're you said, how do you, if it's good dick or good money? Well, Donnie, I don't know, baby. I don't know. It could be both. I mean, maybe she just makes it in emotions. I don't know. Good dick or good money. Good dick or good money. Well, I mean, I think Donnie, for your question, it should be body language, baby. Like if her body language is showing you that the dick is good, then it's probably not the money. But if she's not, squirming for you or squirming a little bit, maybe it's not the dick. Maybe it is the money. I think it's a question that kind of could be answered. But it's going to be based on you and how you answer that question, because somebody that's doing that to you. Some women ain't noisy. Some women don't scream. Some women don't do anything. They it's good. You can probably tell by the emotion, the movement of their body. But not all women are screamers. We don't all just like to holler. They may be hollering because it's painful, but some women don't holler at all. Some women are just quiet. They don't like to holler. They might be hollering in their head. They might be like, God damn, this dick is fantastic. It's amazing. It's wonderful. You might be saying all that shit in your head, but then you might not want to express that out loud. You might buck up and slip up every once in a while. You might be like, oh, that was, yeah, and you give yourself that pat on the back because you just feel like it was good. Or when you finish, you might go, damn, that shit was good. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about it. So there's the answer to your question, Donnie. Does she roll over and does she say, baby, that was just, and when you finish, it's all wet down there and you all wet and you feel all moist and she's all soaking wet down there. You can tell when it's good. You can tell what she's coming back for. She might be coming back for both, though. What's wrong with having good dick and good? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that should be the fact. Let's see. Which one heals your soul? The pleasure or the presence? Does the pleasure of a person heal your soul, or does the presence of them heal your soul? Like, can you just be with somebody on a couch, sitting down, watching movies, cuddling, caressing, kissing, whatever you do when you do all this cuddling and caressing and stuff, can you be with somebody and do that and still get that same feeling of, yeah, because you can't always be with somebody wanting to jump on their dick. That's crazy. I mean, you might want to all the time, but got to give the vagina a rest. The vagina has to take a break. Trust me when I tell you. You can't just be out here, having sex Monday through Sunday, because the shit go down there, goes very raw, and once it gets to burning, it's not no good feeling. It now becomes painful. So can you have the presence of a woman or a man around you and still get that high, that connection, and still want it, still lust for it? Can you get that? Now, for me, I can sit with a man and cuddle. I can sit with a man that's touching me. I can sit with a man that's, I think touch is good. I can sit with a man just laying on my lap. I think these things matter. I think when you're feeling somebody, I think you should have times where you're not just at each other, because then because there's that buildup that we're coming to this buildup that we know eventually, that we're going to do this. whether it be in the beginning, the middle, or the end. We're going to do it, right? So we're building up to this moment where we want to feel something. Like we want to feel that this connection is real. So once you pass the connection part, you're like, okay, I know this shit is going to be probably good. You know, you can have, you know, you can be laying somewhere, you know, watching some movies and shit, and you just feeling all kinds of squirmy and slimy, and you know, you feel like you about to bust laying next to somebody sometime. And I'm talking about really laid up, not laid up having sex. I'm about just laid up with them. And it's a good feeling because you're in a person's, you know, to be around. You like to just feel it. Nothing wrong with that. I think every time with person you got to be smashing. Like I definitely don't believe that shit. I think that part. Jules says, I can get high from present. Intimacy does not mean sex. Thank you. Thank you for saying, and I feel you on that, Jules. I feel like you can have the presence of somebody, baby. Something about men and the presence and the smell and the look and the eyes and all that shit. All that shit matters, baby. It does. At the end of the day, it matters. Some men have no presence. You know, some men you see, you want them to go home. And there's those that you see that you be like, nah, I want this nigga to stay a little longer. I want him to roll over. I want him to lay on the bed. I want him to waddle in the feathers or whatever you do. Presence of a man is deep. It's very deep. And I think it's the same when it comes to women, especially if you enjoy the company of somebody. Like you really enjoy the person being in your space, because it's very hard for some people to be in the same space at the same time. You know, that's when you know if you really got a connection. If you with somebody real long and you can't talk, y'all can't have no conversation about nothing, and it's just like, be it the phone, be it texting, be it whatever, on FaceTime, however y'all do this stuff now, be it any of those things, and you can't have no conversation, it's probably because something's missing. It's probably not the guy for you, because you have to be able to have conversation, period. Like with anybody you got the bone, you got to be able to have that. You got to have something. You can't just always just no conversations, dry. When you're around each other, you don't know what to say. When you go on a date, it's quiet at the table. That's not chemistry. That's horrible. That's what you call a nightmare. That's like walking into a nightmare. So when you go on these first dates with people, you have to ask yourself, can I hold a conversation with this person? True story. The other day, about 2 days ago, I met this white man. Beautiful soul, really beautiful soul. You know, I've been talking to these white men lately, y'all. But this one white guy that I met, I thought he was really nice, you know. And I talked to him on the phone, and he was real cool. And you know, and the one thing that this type stuff, and it still kind of is this type stuff, but it was the fact that I could hold a conversation with a man. Like, you know, we was talking, like real talk. He was just like, you know, we talking, we got off subject every once in a while, and we got back on the subject again, and then we might have got off on the subject again, but we was talking and conversing. And a lot of times, you know, a lot of people text because they're not good at talking, and that's not a good thing either, because you have to have communication in anything you do. You cannot always be, you know, the people that text, because it makes you kind of question, can I have a real conversation with this person? I was talking to my friend Atlanta Live, Mr. Atlanta Live. Let me put that on just in case he's watching, because he always tell me to call him Mr. I was talking to him, and he told me that. He was like, I need to see if you can hold conversation, Shelly. I'm like, nigga, I am the conversationalist. What you do? I do this shit for a living. I talk. If I can't do shit else, I know how to talk to anybody. I don't care if you're Japanese, you know, because I'm good at it. I'm really good at speaking to people. Like, I just think that's the easiest thing to do. And I can fall off in any setting. You can take me to the hood, the projects, up here, up north, bougie conversation, whatever you want to have, you can have it. Because I think that's easy. You know, can't have conversation. They don't know how. They don't know how to hold one. They get tied up. They don't know what to talk about. And then the conversation becomes stupid, because now they don't know what to say. So you have to have that connection. That connection could lead you to giving your draws up. Trust me when I tell you. Saying you can have the connection at a table, and then you start sitting down. You'll be sitting down with somebody maybe across from you, and you be across from them, and they talking. All you looking at is their mouth. You be looking at their mouth like this, nigga. And then you back up a little bit. You might smirk, and they might say, "What you laughing about?" And you be laughing in your own goddamn head. When you put the cell phone down and the conversation is that good that all you want to do is have that man in front of you, and you just want to be looking at him like this, be like, yeah. And you and all his and you really in your mind going, well, goddamn, I just want the nigga to stop talking for 1 second so I could just That mind is powerful. The mind is a beast, man. I'm telling you, my mind, oh, God. My mind's probably like a nigga's. Like I be thinking like one sometimes. I'd be like, oh, can you not say that? You don't got to talk at all. Be quiet. But somebody's attention is very hard to keep. It's hard to keep people's attention from swaying. And you think about when you add that beauty into something, you add that beauty into a relationship or into a friendship that's blossoming and blooming, and then you have this beautiful connection, and you have this beautiful, and y'all now by this time, you know, we done figured out we like each other, we done figured out we want to kiss, right? And that has to matter, because you know you gotta, a nigga can make you come by a kiss, by the way he kiss you. Like you could be like, well, goddamn, you know, I've said a whole lot of goddams, I ain't gonna lie, like, well, goddamn, kiss me again. And it's something I can't even date a man if he can't kiss. I ain't even gonna lie. I wouldn't know what to do with it. I wouldn't, because I think kissing is a big part of having sex. I think you have to know how to kiss. Like I want to come up sometime, eat my coochie, and let me come and kiss you. I want to taste what it tastes like. Hell, I know it's good. Some kiss you back. I ain't like, oh no, don't kiss me. You have to be able to, gotta be able to want to bring to the table and what you don't want to bring to the table. And what matters in the bond that you're trying to build with whoever you're trying to build it with. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. She laughed. You know, you got a pretty face, whoever you are. But yeah, it's an anything. You know, the other day I went out and I was out at the bar with me and my girlfriend, and this dyke, this lesbian girl came up. You know, she was hanging out with us, real cool, love her to death. She's a good friend of mine now, you know, as of that night. Real cool chick. But she had a swag, a mad swag about her. Not lying. Her swag was impeccable, was almost infectious. You know, just to be in her presence was good. It was like, okay, you know, I'm not a lesbian, but damn, she was giving good vibes. You know, that's why I say connection, looking, smelling, and she smelled like a dude. That was the other thing. She smelled just like that. And, you know, saying you looking around like, I know just me. I know it ain't just me smelling this mouth. You know, and you have to think about what gives you attractions. And I guess it's the same way when it comes to any type of attraction you have in anybody, right? It gotta be something. You said let you taste it. Oh my God, y'all! Let me tell y'all. I gotta tell y'all about Mr. Roger and me, because see, Roger gonna make y'all think me. You would think by the way Roger talked, you would think me and Roger done had sex and ran around a building together, then jumped in the bed, then jumped in the pond. Roger is a good friend of mine, y'all, and he's crazy. That's the other part. He's probably crazy a little bit, just a little bit, but he's my nigga though, and I love him to death. I met Roger during COVID. He gave me tissue. I ain't had no tissue. And the stores didn't have none either. And Roger, I went live on Facebook and I said, I don't have no tissue. And Roger said, hey, I got some. And we swapped spaghetti for some tissue. That's the story of me and Roger, for real. And it's been years now, y'all. It was in 2020. That's how long I've been rocking with that. But you have to. She said John T. Johnson. I mean, I'm confused. Is this so? You're John T.O. Johnson? I thought I saw John T.O. Johnson somewhere earlier. What does that name ring a bell? I know. Yeah. So we just gotta pick our poison, pick what we're doing. You know, connection size, and when you get to a certain age, I don't think any of that stuff really matters. I think when it all boils down to everything, it boils down to the physical, the connection you have with somebody, and that's it. Melvin James. Oh, okay, got you. That's what it boils down to. What you have, what you know, what's your conversation like, how that person makes you feel, you know, the buildup of what it could be or what it might be, or the thought process of what that looks like. You know, what does it really look like when it was into all this stuff? I would say good that part. Don't be so into the asking a man, because some women will ask you, Some women will ask right away, like, is you did good? Yeah. Back in the day, I might have asked that question when I was younger. I might have said, is you did good though? That was a conversation that you had when you was about 22, 20, 19, 18. You might say that to a man. It might be appropriate. But when you get like 40-ish, you can't be walking up to no grown ass man talking about something you did good though. Like that to me will sound so bizarre. I'd be like, hey, kiss me on my neck. Kiss my Let me see if you can suck this part right here real good. And if you can, nigga, then you probably got good tingling. I mean, you gotta figure it out. And like I said, for me, for Shelly Live, Michelle, whichever one you want to call me, it starts with how you kiss me. Like I have to be sucked in by that almost to where it's mind blowing, to where I'm just like, yeah, that's my gift, because it's gonna matter in the presentation. It's a really, really big part in the way we're gonna move going forward. I look at you and I be like, ooh, if you date a girl and she never wants to kiss you, and you date a man and he never wants to kiss you, it's probably because you're not a good kisser. And that is not good by no means. It's good because you want to have that. You want to have a man kissing between your thigh or the groove of your thigh. And what that feel like? I maybe cross my own legs. Cross my legs. Y'all see me clench my pearls just a minute ago. I just clenched my pearls. Y'all saying that. That made me feel some type of way. But you want to, I'm going to tell you my tongue is. I'm not putting nothing else you say, Roger, on this board. I promise you I'm not. You are banned from time on this screen. But it makes you want to cleanse your pearls away. Somebody might kiss you properly, properly. The proper introduction matters. That stuff. It's good. It's good. It's a good thing, y'all know. I don't talk about sex stuff. I don't talk to nobody. Never. If it happens, it does. It don't. In the end, I initiate some shit. But as far as like just talking about it constantly, that annoys me to death. To sit there and just keep talking about it. I'm like, why do we keep talking about it? We're not kids. What are we talking about the same thing for? And that happens, gonna happen. It's okay. Somebody might say, well, what you like? What kind of positions? Once you get past the positions, and then you really don't know, you might not want to do all kinds of stuff for everybody. You might meet some people, you might be like, yeah, I might see myself in a couple of positions over here and, flipped out over there or that kind of stuff. And then there's some that I want to see myself but one way, laying downward. That's it. Then you have the ones that bring out the best of you. When the connection is strong and it's real and it feels, giving a little bit, it's like giving. You might want to perform. Makes you want to get up and perform a little bit. Maybe some sex is just boring and shit. But back to like what Donnie was saying, your money for kind of stuff. You want to know what somebody's really with you for, right? I would say that, respectfully speaking, you want to know what somebody's with you for. And if there's no sex going on and she likes your company, then that might speak volumes. You got to kind of push the stuff aside a little bit and just kind of look at her language and how she's coming to you and how she's, is she attentive? It's other things that factor into besides that. He said, remember when we first met, what I told you, Roger, I don't know. And I don't want you to say whatever it was, because I don't know, baby. And you might say something crazy. I don't know what you told me. I really don't, but I'm sure it was something crazy. But I don't agree with people using people. I think that's really, I think it's a messed up thing to do. This is in my eye, y'all. I think it's a messed up thing to do to anybody, to use anybody for anything, But then you are for how you and when you're meeting them, was their presentation. If you meet a woman, doing everything, and there's some men, and let me take that back, because there's some men that just likes to do things for women. There's some men that just like to do everything for a woman, and it's okay if that's how you roll. But if it's something that you're going to think about every time you do something, then you might not want to do that, and you might not want to lead with that. Don't lead with your wallet. Lead with your conversation. Is it good? Do we talk? Does she pick up the phone? Does she call me? Does she text? Do I text her? Do they make time, for me in my circle? Do they, do they put me in there somewhere? Those things, right? Those things, Donnie, those are probably things that you probably need to look for. Like, and sometimes people, people always say like, people might ask if someone thinking about them. A thought is a thought, right? No matter how the thought comes out. A thought is a thought. The days, but it doesn't mean they don't cross your mind. It doesn't mean you don't think about people or you don't wonder or you don't, and any of that stuff. Because I think I've had that conversation with, some of y'all. It's not about not thinking about people. It's not about any of that. Sometimes you just don't have time to even think for yourself. When you have life happening and you're in life and your walk is movement, and you're trying to win and you're trying to do all these things. Sometimes you don't have time to stop and say, hey, but I'm a big believer on stopping, like I do pick up the phone and I call people and I'll be like, hey, I love you. I love you today. I just want you to know that. And I will text and say that sometimes because I think it matters. And it doesn't, I'm not talking about the kind of love, like I'm in love with you. I'm talking about, I love you because I deal with you. I fucks with you like that. And sometimes it's just that simple. It's not about the me wanting to have sex, jump your bones. It might be on my thought. It might be in the thought process of my head. It might not come out of my mouth, but that has nothing to do with any of build the connection, build the connection. The skills come, size does not matter. It doesn't to me anyway. I don't know about the rest of these women that listen. Like Jules said, sometimes it's your presence. Sometimes it's you just being there, showing up, asking little things, the small things, just being there. Sometimes it's just somebody being there. And just that alone is good enough. The cuddling, the time spent, the what you do together, how you make the person feel when you are together. All that stuff actually does really matter. So build those things first before you start worrying about all the other stuff that comes into play. But we are about to be at that 1 hour that I have given y'all daily, Monday through Thursday. I'm going to be on somebody else's podcast. I put it on my page. Let's talk about it. They stream from their own platforms. And those of you that are coming to singing for free, I mean, happy to see they. We've had so support, wishing on live when people come out for you, people show up, and believe in your purpose and your purpose of. I've had people call me and say, hey, what kind of flowers you want? What you want me to bring you to your premiere? And I'm like, you don't have to bring me anything. Your presence is enough. But people want to do what they want to do, and I'm not stopping anybody from doing anything. But it's a good feeling. I think me and V are in happy spaces. You see the fire behind us, singing for freedom. So many people is waiting for it to hit the screen. Y'all know this is my life story being plastered to a whole lot of people on a lot of people's TVs. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but I'm gonna feel good in the moment that it's done and it's airing and it's out. That's the whole goal over everything. I came across this video. One of my girlfriends, her and her husband did this video, and I said I was going to play it. I think it's the funniest video. Before I end this live, her and her husband came on this. They did this on TikTok, and it's pretty much damn near viral on TikTok already. But it's the cutest video of Black love, and this is what I mean when I say being in the presence of somebody you want to be involved with or with, be it your husband, you're kind of. What
So in love with you. So in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new.
spend my life with you. They say you sing, baby, since we've been together. Ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me.
Was that not the cutest? Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's off the die. I love the y'all, her husband, man. That's what I'm talking about. Having fun, the connection, the bond, what's real, what's good, what makes your relationship pop, what makes it beautiful. It's more to life than just running around here getting it. Sometimes those little things matter. You see her in the background, she looks happy as a lark. He did too. But I like the video. I've watched it so many times. I think it's the cutest. I do. Y'all, thank y'all for rocking with me on this hour, as y'all always do. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate y'all coming in for me every day. Like I said, I'm on here. Hey, Michael Wilson. Thank you, everybody. And y'all can run it like some of y'all do. It's your girl, Shelly, y'all. Loving life, loving what I do, baby. Pushing past, pressing, all the above. Trying to, out here on my grind, y'all. Y'all know every day for me is a grind. It's a hustle. It's, it's about winning. It's about winning with the right person that wants to win with you. Life takes you in roads and detours. I always say this. I always like to end on a positive note. And I wanted to talk about this. I had really quickly, I had a man come on my page, and he made a comment. And I want to address the comment because I thought the comment was kind of like, I don't know if he was a pastor or not, but he made the comment of, when you speak one thing and your actions don't align with what you're doing or what you're saying. So I made in the morning, and I'm thinking that's what he was referring to. So in the morning, I come and I do motivational quotes in the morning, every morning. I've been doing this forever on social media. I do it on every platform. I go on, I say something, motivational to people, and that's what I do. That's what I do. It's what I really am. I would like to believe I am a spiritual person. I would like to believe that I pray to God every day, every movement, every hour, everything I do is God-based. So let me get that out there. Now, what I don't leave room for people to do is judge, because people will judge you. And that's kind of what he did. He kind of said, well, you can't be doing this if you're doing that. And you can't be doing this if you're doing this. And you can't be. Well, you have pastors, you have people that are married, you have people sin every day. People are trying to be great. People are trying to give their best. People are trying to do a whole lot. But for someone to take the time to write the sermon that this person did, I commend you for writing it. Thank you. I read it. But I wouldn't put me on the scale of I'm perfect, because I'm not. And I'm going to talk however I want on my page. And I think about who gets offended, because then you don't have to lend the ear. Some people want to be hypocritical when it comes to what they want to look at. You could look at me in a bathing suit and say, oh, that's sexy, but then you can come my inbox and you can send me your dick. You see what I'm saying? Or you could pick however you want to do it. Or you can say, instead of me doing that, I'm going to come at her like the pastor when I just really want to get to know her. And we're just starting there. Let's just start there. That's simpler for me to relate to than come for me first and then go in my inbox and say, hey, I just really like you. That would have been the deliverance that should have probably came before the sermon that was on my page. I can respect that. It's just like a pastor asking me, could I be his first lady? Maybe they don't see the sin. You see what I'm saying? Like, so pick your poison when it comes to your presentation, because it's very simple day to anybody. Hey, I like you. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling your flavor. That's easy. That's the easy part. And then know who you're getting when you get the person that you're inquiring about. Make it make sense. Don't inquire about something that you probably can't even handle on a good day. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of address that. I was going to do it on another live, but since I'm here and I'm already live, I can just say what I got to say and be done with it. But I don't really get into the people that really come for me every day for whatever reason. You know, people got problems with me jumping in the grass. People got problem with my hair color. People got problem with my eye color, my skin complexion. You know, I can't, and I won't, run around here trying to please people, because then it leaves no room for me. So I'm going to do Michelle, Shelly, whichever one you know me by. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to pray, because God is my judge. Anything outside of that, I don't really take to it very well. If you're not my guy and my guy's not saying something, then I don't think anybody has the room to say anything. I'm just saying. But if you felt some type of way about whatever I was doing, I don't know if I was running in the grass that day. I don't even know what video it was. I was doing something. I think I was running in the grass. Yeah, it's a video of some damn grass. Like, I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can. You just will be amazed. One of these days I'm gonna do a show called "Look What's in My Inbox," and let you see some of the same foolishness that I be dealing with. Now, another thing, people say I don't answer them. I do. I answer the first 10 DMs. I do. If you're one of the people that I know that I talk to on a regular on social media, I'm gonna answer you faster, because your name gonna pop up. But some of y'all be FaceTiming me on this messenger. I don't have a problem with that, but I do work a job during the day. So if I'm sending you the voicemail during the day in a DM, because you're FaceTiming me, it's because I can't answer, because I'm at work. And I always tell them, if you need me for something and I'm vibing with you on a friendship type of level, and I know you and you actually need my attention, and you need me to stop what I'm doing, then you would have my number and you'd be able to text and say, I need you right now. I think that's how that works. But if it's just a person out of the 23,000 people that are on my Facebook page just randomly calling me because they want to make sure I'm me, I can't answer those calls during the day. I work out. This is what I do, outside of the job. And I dedicate my time to coming, because you all do mess with me like that. And people that have been riding with me, been riding the wave. I always say I'm gonna be here till the wheels fall off, until I can't be here no more. But and within that being said, I'm about to jump off. It's 6:01. Y'all be blessed, be amazing, be wonderful, be beautiful, be true to yourself. Stop looking for size and skills. Look for some connections. Look for some real life stuff. There's real life people that got some, build up some love, build to the plateau, build to the what's called crescendos, build to that, get to that level where you want to just give it. You want to just say, here, go take it. Get there in life. Stop judging people, push people, motivate people, and share my videos. Like and share them. Y'all likes and share makes me as big as I'm going to be. Like and share. Shares are important. And make sure y'all go vote for me on the BB online. It's on my page. It's to the top. All you gotta do is click. That's all you gotta do. It's one little button. Click like, and it counts. It's not rocket science. It's not math. Those of you who want to come out and see Singing, please make sure you inbox me if you want tickets. We're not posting. It's going to be at Maid's Mansion. If you know where that's at, if you're on social media, you know where it's at. You know where it's at. It's in Snailfield. It's red carpet. It's going to be red for women, black for men. But I'm going to talk about this every day to the day of. And if you want to come, you want to rock with your girl, me and V, we're going to be there. We're going to be laughing. We're going to be in a good state of mind. We want people that want to be there. We want people that really want to be in the building. Like, we want people that want to be with us, that really, really rock with us. It matters. You don't want people around you that's just negative energy, bringing you negative energy. You want the people that's really wilding out with you and being like, yeah, that's my girls. They doing it. However it goes, however it goes, do that. Do that instead of just being judgmental. Anyway, y'all, I'm out.
Oh my God, it's Shelly laugh. Lyrics don't look at everything she's